Look at the mess of my truck. They spread way too much salt on the roads here. Holy frickin' crap, that's all this is road salt. And you know what? I wash it like every freaking day. We went out last night and look at it now. Holy crap. It's actually like thick. Stop spreading salt. People will learn how to drive. We'd be all good. Anyways, we got a little package, a little bag from John Deere to order a few parts. Let's go see. Alright, so a couple weeks ago I was driving along and I'm like, why does my seat on my tractor feel weird? I looked and the spring was broken. And it looked like it had been broken for a while. It's a little more rusted now, but most of it was rusted through. So I'm like, oh, that's not good. Now, these aren't the original springs for my tractor. The 2720 we had before, they come with these really hard, about that round, about this tall, rubber puck things. Not as hard as like a hockey puck, but like really hard rubber. And they sucked. If I look in my cabinet, I might find some. These horrible things. They're really light and stuff, but they're really hard to compress. Like I'd have to be about 1,800 pounds probably to actually compress this anything. So I don't know why they come out with these. They put these underneath the seat. I'll show you where here. These things basically just kind of squished into this little bracket thing here, and that's where they sat. Well, I had these on the 2720 and didn't like them. They just kind of squish onto the seat, right, when you're down. Didn't like them. They really hurt my lower back, my middle lower back, when I was using the tractor. So I'm like, okay, my 4110, way back. You guys probably don't even know or remember that little tractor. It had these springs, and I never had a problem. So I'm like, why can't I just use these springs on the 2720 at that time? So I ordered a set, this was one of them, I guess. Got rid of these stupid things and put these in. Never had a problem since. So when the new 2032R came, I took the new one of these ones. No, what did I do? I'm trying to remember now. I took the new ones off my new 2032R and put these springs on, and put these back, the new ones from the new tractor, on the old tractor. That's what I did. So basically that kind of went back to factory when I sent it back, right? Went back like as factory. So I kept these things, but now the other day I had one break here, so I'm like, oh, for frig's sakes, it's so freaking uncomfortable. So now the seat sits kind of like this, and it really sucks. So we ordered some new ones. Now he ordered me some springs, and I guess I mentioned to him I had them on the 4110. So he orders them for me. He says, oh, they're $70, $71 a piece. I'm like, holy crap, that's a lot of money for a spring. I'm like, that seems high. I didn't really question him on it, but I said, man, that seems high. So I went up to pick these springs up, and he had a spring like the size of the nozzle here. Huge, thick, massive spring. I'm like, that's a seat spring? He's like, yeah, that's for the 4110. I'm like, holy crap, that's not right. So we were looking up and looking it up and looking it up and looking it up. He's like, no, that's not what you're showing me here. I'm like, well, I don't know what I got this from. So anyways, there was another little spring under that seat too. He's like, well, I'll order these in, and we'll see what these look like when they come. I'm like, okay, because the picture on this little diagram wasn't the greatest. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So he orders that, and I started walking out, and right out in front of the dealership at John Deere there, they have all the small running tractors and stuff, and I looked and looked and looked, flipped the seat up, I'm like, oh, there it is right there. They were using these exact same springs. So I'm like, I run back inside. I'm like, oh, found the spring. I know which one it is. It's like from that one out front there. He's like, oh, that's a 500X series or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. So he orders them for me. They finally came in. And hopefully in this package, we've got some new ones of these. So let's get a tripod and we'll crack this open. So hopefully in here is springs, and I did order, well, I don't think right now I'm not gonna rebuild them. I got some hopefully kits for my cylinders on the backhoe for the loader. So in here hopefully is a whole bag of good stuff. So yeah, there's the little rebuild kits. That's one of them. I think that might be for the gland nut part. And there's a spring. That's better. Look at these in a second here. Yeah, there's enough for all 4 cylinders. They all take the same kits. They're just cylinders are different lengths. So there's, yeah, some more. So there's a little orange ring that you got to put in right there, if you can sort of see it, that little orange ring there. You got to put that in to get the nut out. It fits in the little groove. So I think we got enough parts here. And there's the stuff for the piston. It's hard to kind of see through the yellow bag, but that's all the seals and the wipers and stuff for the piston. That goes on the piston, and actually that might be part of the gland nut stuff too. Wait a minute. Yeah, there's, well, that's wipers and stuff, so I'll have to look at everything a little closer and make sure it's got everything for me, but I think that's everything I'll need. But I don't know when I'm going to do those. Probably won't be for a little while. I just kind of more or less got these to put in stock, because I've kind of noticed lately, in the last little while, that it's sort of not been lifting super great as it used to as well. Same sort of issue as I was having with the curl cylinders and stuff. They seemed like they were bypassing. There must not be quite as much stuff in one of these, because the other one, you got me some stuff here too in this bag. Seems like a lot of stuff, but there's two bags I think for each cylinder. So anyways, let's put those there. So I've got the piston from the other, but maybe these are different. They're maybe not quite the same, but this one has a lot bigger ring, like one of these Teflon rings. Like, it's not quite the same, I guess. But I don't see in the package this thick ring here. This thick ring goes, yeah, wipers and stuff. This thick ring goes on the inside of the piston here, and then this orange ring goes on top. I'm not quite exactly seeing that thick ring here, unless it just doesn't use the thick ring maybe. I will have to look at these really close here and classify them all into groups of 50 or something, part numbers and stuff. So let me snort through these here, and then we'll see what we got. Okay, so there's all the bits. I think he's maybe got me one extra kit here and not enough of these backup rings, they call them. I think he wasn't sure why we needed these though, because they should come in the kit, but apparently it called for it. Which seems kind of strange, because I bet you this little orange ring is probably already in here. Maybe not. Maybe not. That's probably a ring that goes in the piston somewhere. It's like a spacer-y kind of ring, but we got 4 of these big ones, so that's good. We got 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these, and only 3 of these, so I'll have to maybe straighten that out. But anyways, there's the new springs too. I got a couple extra ones just in case I have another one happen to break or whatever. They seem to last for a long time, but a little more springy there, right? Which is kind of nice. So yeah, so these actually were only like just over $10 a piece. I'm like, that sounds better. $70 for one spring, that seems a little high. So there we go, but I'll have to, maybe I'll send him a picture of this. And because some of this I picked up before and it might have just got crossed around or whatever. So, but anyways, I'll send him a text or, no, an email, I guess, an email picture. And I'll go from there. But anyways, today, let's get to our main thing we're doing today. Oh, no, my bad, just let you know, I did have the extra ring. It was in the bottom curl fold of the bag here. So we got 4 of them. I just got basically one of these extras, so that's all right. I won't bother them about that. It's not a real big deal. So I just have one extra thing. And that's actually not too bad because it comes with an extra, a little plastic, whatever you call that thing here, that you have to put on the piston, or sorry, inside the cylinder to keep the internal snap ring from snapping back into the groove. That just slides it right past then. So we're good. We're good. Alright, so today was my purpose for today. I got to do a little maintenance on the sweeper. I'm not switching brushes today. Brushes aren't too bad yet. I got a little bit of life left in them. I think I'll get my spring cleanup-y stuff done, which means doing all this junk in the road and where they spread all this sand and crap and stuff here, right? But my thing today was I have to do a little maintenance on my swivel again. What happens is this crap that they spread on the road, the dust and stuff, it gets into the back here. It's just still a little buried. You can see all that crap's laying down here. Now I got a greaser right here. There's a little grease zerk there. But what happens is the stuff gets in that ring, and I grease it. Like there's grease there, right? There's grease, but it gets in there, and then it makes this thing not want to pivot too well. I can hardly move it. That should just boop, 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 like nothing, right? So I need to get this inside, get her demounted, pulled off there, and then we'll have to work on the swivel plate, which is right here. And there's a big round pipe in there, and there's only one grease fitting, but you know, I have to basically, there's a couple of bolts in there, and then that thing just pops right off. Clean it all out, put it back together, and re-grease it. I have to do this about every 3 years, sometimes more. It just all depends how much crap gets stuffed in it. So we'll put the tractor in. Or just the attachment here. We'll leave the tractor out. It doesn't have to be inside. So okay, we gotta put her down. Pull the drive shaft off. Pull the quick pins here. Oh, it's not sitting right. Whew. Pull this quick pin. There we go. Okay, so we're good. Pull that in. I'm just going to let her thaw a little bit here. Pull this guy back out. And shut off the money. All right. So yes, we need to, there's 2 bolts. One there. It's like a roller pin thing. It's supposed to roll too a little bit there. There's one on that side, and that's all that holds that plate on. That is it. But this should be moving a heck of a lot easier than it is, and it's not. So we will fix that. Well, there's another problem I forgot I have to fix too. This thing got bent. I think it dropped one year or something, and it bent this stupid rod. And this thing is, of course, seizured on the... this nut thingy is seizured on this thing, and I have no idea why they've got it so long, because all this does is kind of adjusts the sweeper, like, it adjusts the sweeper forwards more, so it puts a little more down pressure onto the front of the sweeper, and then instead of keeping it back on the wheels more. So I gotta try to get it all apart here, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, other than maybe have to just cut it off here and just make a whole new thing with a new stud and probably a new 3/4 nut or something on there. It's kind of, once you got her adjusted, it's kind of good, but the way it's sitting now, it's getting squished down and it's actually pulling the thing up higher than it should be. So it's actually riding a little bit too high on the back side here, so I have to kind of get that fixed. But of course, thanks to all the salt, everything's rusted. So that's that pin out. I'm probably going to have to rebuild this whole part here. I probably could have got a new part from John Deere. I knew everything there, but I'm like, that's probably like 600 bucks. So she's a little bent. I mean, I might be able to, I don't know if I could get that nut off, but the problem is some of these, like I said, I don't know why they've got it so long, because you wouldn't need that much adjustment, but some of the threads are a little marred down here a little bit. And this thing's, of course, whatchamacallit, seizured on there. I sprayed it, and I tried to put a little pipe wrench on there just to give her a little turn, and no avail. So it actually started twisting the whole entire thing. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not probably going to fight with it all the way to the end. I mean, I could heat that super red hot. I think that's aluminum. So aluminum steel, not a good combo. And of course, I didn't ever think of really lubing that, because how often do you really need to change that? I never really have. The only thing that's changed is because it got bent there and it's pulled the thing out more. So it's actually sitting sort of now where it should be, whereas before it was a little bit too high on the front. So it just brings it away from your bracket here. You see how much room we've got now. So from before, it was sitting higher, it was sitting up in here, almost touching the bracket, so it's actually sitting better there now. But I can't adjust that thing, so I guess I'm just going to have to chop it off and rebuild it. I could probably still use this same bracket. I'll just have to clean out the weld stuff and put in a new piece of threaded rod there. Sorry you missed all that. Cut out this weld and reuse this bracket. I just have to straighten it. It's supposed to be straight, and we can just reuse that, I think. New threaded rod and probably a different nut back here. I don't know if I'm gonna get that off again, and it's probably a weird thread too, so but I'll have to see what I got here. Okay, I'm gonna just flame cut this off of here, I suppose. Let me move these over here. Alright, I was longer lighting the torch and blowing through that stuff. That was pretty awesome. So I gotta get a piece of the threaded rod. I don't have any stuff equivalent to this, so yeah, I'll have to, I don't know what size that stuff is, but it'll have to match, you know, the hole size on the machine there, so I'll have to go probably somewhere and grab some of that. Alright, so now I gotta try to rescue this plate out of here, get this weld undone here. Gonna use my little die grinder guy. Probably not gonna film that though, because you know, new camera, sparks hard on new camera. don't want to do that. So I'll just get this grounded. It's probably going to take me a couple of minutes anyways. Get this out of here, and then hopefully it comes fairly clean. And then it's going to be fun trying to get this end one here. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I might just have to do a couple of cuts, and then just, you know, I can, when I weld the new one back in, I can just fill her back in. It should be alright. And then I got to try to straighten that thing too. Okay, we're actually doing pretty good. I just have to do that plunge at the back there, and oh, that might make it too wide. I think what I'm going to do is just cut a little bit on each. Well, actually, it's only this side. The other side isn't welded. Oh, I'm just going to do a plunge and then get a pair of pliers and just try to doink, and then she'll be out. I haven't cut into the bracket at all. I've stayed really close to the edge, as you can see in the threaded rod there. So hopefully I just do a little plunge before I start hitting that, and it'll just kind of snap out. Alright, I don't know if I got enough broke here or it's cut here, but oh yeah, we're good. Just gotta break her. There we go. Sweet. Yeah, there wasn't much holding there, so that's good. Now, 5/8 actually rod. I think that stuff was, although the hole on the machine is 3/4, but I think a 5/8, once I just maybe hog her out a little bit, will fit in there pretty good. It's just a 5/8 bolt, but on the machine itself, I don't know if it's wore that big or what, but it's a 3/4 hole here now, so I could even probably get away with doing 3/4 hole. I just have to hog that thing a little wider. That's a 3/4 bolt. You know, it's not a whole lot of play there. I don't think it's wore out. I think that's the size, because it'd be an oblong ward where this 5/8 is a little sloppy there, but either or, it doesn't really matter, I guess. 3/4 probably be a bit stronger, but it's not like this is holding up like, you know, the Eiffel Tower or something again here, right? So I'll see what they have in stock and go from there. I've got either or nuts, so should be good. Now, how do you keep it from rusting again? I guess you could use all stainless. Stainless is a little hard to weld to steel, so you'd have to do some kind of bracket and then bolt it to this bracket. But yeah, I don't know. This it's hard to say. So I gotta also try to straighten this thing a bit too. It's supposed to be flat. Should be able to just get the hammer to it, I think. Let's just see what the hammer will do for this here. Big hammer. Big hammer. It's not perfectly flat there. I kind of like it better up here, although you're probably not supposed to hit up here. This stuff's pretty soft though. Even that rod, wow, it was soft. It didn't take much to burn through. Well, it doesn't look too bad. Stick her through here, maybe two, and that'll tell me how aligned it is. It's not too bad. I don't think it's going to make a monster huge difference. Yeah, this stuff's really soft. Wow. Not quite as soft as like lead, but holy, she's pretty soft. Alright, got a piece of threaded rod here. I think that should work good. That's a 5/8. 3/4 would have probably been too big. I would have had to hog a lot more of this out to make that fit, but one thing I did get is a coupling nut, and that'll just be a little longer than just like a regular nut. That'll go on there. This will hold a little more anti-seize stuff in there, right? So I'll have to I'm gonna have to weld this, I think, on the machine. So I get this off. Ow, my toe. So when I get it welded, I get it welded straight, and it's, you know, in line with the pin on this bracket part here. So looks like I got to just hog a little more out of there, and then she should be good. Although I think it was sitting kind of like that. But yeah, see, I got to make sure I weld it this way, right? Or if I don't happen to get it bang on, the pin will go and hit over here. So I don't want that to happen. So I'll somewhat half assemble it here, and then we'll weld her together. Okay, so just to give you an idea of what this thing we're working on adjusts here, I've got it off, of course, now. So when I lift it up, you'll see where this moves, and it prevents it from moving like that. And once you get her set, it holds it at that position that you've got it set at. So let me just pick her up slowly up and down, and you'll see what this is actually holding. So that's how that pivots there. It pivots in the center, and that thing adjusts how much down force it has away from the wheels. It's kind of a weird sort of system because you don't really ever have to adjust it. I never have. That's probably why it's gone all all seizured up on me. So, but anyways, I'm going to get this thing on here. We'll get her somewhat assembled here again, and we'll get her ready, and we'll give her a spot weld on that plate and the welded rod. Okay, let's just roughly put this together here again, see how things are looking. I'll have to probably clean this thing a little bit before I actually go ahead and weld her, but it's a little rusty there right now. I just want to see how she's looking. Through the layer. Well, this is of course too long of a piece of rod, which is good. I can cut some off. That's actually longer than I need this thing right now from where it was sitting anyways, so I could probably let her down a little more. There, and then I can adjust it from that. So now I'm longer. So if I cut her, I'm going to cut this thing. I'm going to leave a little bit of length, I guess, to it. That should be good. I'll clean the bracket up here and weld her on, and I guess put the nut on, and that should be good. Oh, Junior's using the big saw. What do you think of that?
Hard.
Maybe try to hold with a little more of a on this end here, and then you have more control. If I push too hard. Now, if you look at the blade, you see the teeth are pointing forwards, so you don't want to push too hard forwards. It's going to bind, but you don't really need to push too hard at all coming back. You'll get the feel of it. You can cut through that, and I will clean up the bracket. So you hold length of blade too. Yeah. Okay, so I can trade it back to that. Start bottom a little bit. Okay. I also feel hold it on there too. It's over there. Pretty hard. That one else is hard spot, but it's easier. Light spot, right?
Oh, there. Freedom!
There we go. I don't believe that'll go anywhere now. We got a good gob on there. Should hold her nice. That does look a lot better. Should work. Should work a lot better now too. Hopefully. So that now I can just get the wrench and adjust it, and that'll pick this thing up and put her down kind of wherever I want her. So that should work good. I'm happy. Oh, I gotta put my clip back in too, I guess. I probably should have painted this thing, but yeah, I'm not too worried about the paint on her. So the whole unit itself is getting kind of old. It's been through 2 tractors, I guess, now. So this thing's about 6-7 years old. It had quite a bit of salt abuse to it and general use. So, but that is good. That is fixed. I will throw on some anti-seize on that little shaft there, and hopefully that'll keep her maneuverable for me. I could probably cut off a little more of the thread here, but I don't think I'm ever going to need that much. So let's clear off the welding cables, and then we'll see how this thing looks when we lift. Alright, so I think this thing is essentially supposed to float a bit on the front brushes as well. So if you push down, it doesn't like dig them in too hard, because I think that's what's going to happen here. Unless you adjust it right tight, it's going to flop there a bit. I think I remember it doing that before too. Seemed to be pretty good. Now, if I remember right, that thing should be able to move in there. If I, yeah, you can't push down too hard with this like that, but it kind of helps the wheels a bit, and it kind of lets the thing kind of float with its own weight, if you know what I mean, on the turf. So I will have to get that adjusted again to where I like it, but as for now, actually that's really low. So what's going to probably happen, I'm not on super perfect level ground here. Oh, the wheels aren't touching. Yeah, it'll kind of sort of self-adjust itself. The wheels aren't really supposed to take the weight, and that's what it was doing before. It was taking like all the weight of the wheels, so if I backed up, the wheels would turn around and it would actually lift the whole thing off the ground, or now when I turn the wheels here, the little guide wheels, it should kind of whoop, and then flop down to where it should sit. So that's good. It should be good. So gotta unbuckle her again here, and hang on, I gotta start up again. There, that's more better. Now she moves the way it should. That's good, because that was bent before here and seized right up. So I might get a washer put on here. I don't know, it's hard to say. I'm going to say it wasn't a lot easier probably to hook it up before, because now it moves on me, right? So could put a nut back here too, like it's hot, like a jam nut, but I think I'm just going to leave it for now. But this thing here, it's not really too bad. That's the thing there that needs what I started off to do today, to clean out that thing. it's not really too bad, but should probably be done. Maintenance-y kind of stuff, right? So I got to get in here and find everything first. It's well greased anyway, so that's good. We'll push her in a bit more and get some tools. And whoa, let's start tearing that back plate off here. And this is another bunch of stuff I got to look at again. Man, this quick attach system is awesome when it's new, but when it wears off and wears in a bit, oh, it sucks. Back in here, the plates here get wore. This pinhole here is wore. You know, so you don't get the push down, which is fine because I generally just float my stuff anyways. Push the stick right forward, it just goes into float position. But this way turning too it's gotten loose again in this back pin. So hopefully it's not this bracket here again that we just replaced. I got that whole entire kit just to replace that one because it was cheaper. Remember that last year. Hopefully it's just the pin. It actually looks like it's the cylinder to me, but you know. But then the up and down here, watch, there's multiple places. I actually eliminated one here when I mounted these solid, but here and back in here, watch all the play here when I freaking stupid things. Okay, watch the play in this freaking pins here, and this is part of their quick attach stuff. I don't like this. The back one especially. So that moves like that, and then up here, look how much play I've got. I've got about 3 inches there. It's ridiculous. So I don't know what to say. I could technically weld all this together. Yeah, I could weld all these plates to the main body here, and then when I want to take this thing off, I'd have to undo all the bolts. That kind of sucks. But generally I don't take it off through the season, right? I really don't want to have to do that though. But see these pins here, and the plate itself gets wore, so you get a lot of play there. I mean, I could probably cut a new set of plates out. Could also probably order a new set of plates, but then, you know, they only last like another year and they're all wore out again. So it's just the lower quality steel, pardon me, that they're using for building these things, and it just doesn't last. So I don't know. I don't kind of really want to weld it all together because that would really suck having to try to get that in and the drive shaft. And well, I guess I could do the drive shaft separately. That would be all right. Once you get this whole thing mounted into where the bolts mount up here, tighten them down. It's just a really poor setup. And then you get up here, there's play in these things too. These get expanded out where the attachment hooks do on this other plate we're gonna mess with here. Oh yeah, I don't know. I wish they would put like a 3-point hitch system like the Kubotas have on the front of their systems instead of this silly thing. The guys in town here, they have a big Kubota tractor, and it's got like a 3-point hitch on the front, and you just hook up the arms, away it goes. Way less wearing parts. So I don't know, John Deere needs to pick her up a bit, I think. Well, here's all the other pieces. I got that whole kit last year. There's the new front thing I just showed you where these wear out. I've got the main bracket, I've already replaced that, so these would wear out too. These holes get bigger. This is the main bearing housing. These things here wear out, and then the other pinhole wears out, and you get all this flop. Really sucks. But, you know, what do you do? Try to keep things going good and, you know, working good, but man, oh man, all of a sudden you got a whole bunch of parts all wore out again, and holy frig, that stuff's not cheap to replace, you know? So, yeah, but anyways, I'm going to probably get this thing off today, maybe clean it tomorrow. I've spent a lot of my time just fixing that thing, so we'll go in here and get her off. And bring my tools. Oh, I need some towels. Okay, hang on, I gotta get organized here. Alright, I think we're good to try to see if we can get this to come off. And we got enough light there. I need a socket wrench. Ratchet. And these are just little rollers in here. They're just supposed to roll up and down this little channel in here. So we'll have to clean all them up. It's funny because this thing was pretty good. Like in pretty good shape. And I greased it like I normally maintenancely do. Like I do with maintenance. And the next time I went out, I noticed, what the heck, it's really hard to, oh, I don't know if I can get in there. It was really hard to, darn it. This is a tricky one for some reason. Got more room on this side, right? Okay, so, yeah, I noticed it was being weird. And when I turned it left and right, you know, it changes the angle. Well, this is supposed to automatically adjust itself for what angle you're sitting at. Well, it was stuck in the air, so I'm like, oh, I know it's wrong. And seemed like it got worse after I greased it, so I don't know. Seems weird. Okay, so this one should just pop out of here. Or not. Ooh, she's a tighty. There we go. I think. Okay. We're free. Now. Yeah, I think I'm going to finish cleaning this tomorrow. I'm just going to tear it apart today. Running around looking for parts for this other thing, and people coming to see me for cemetery related stuff, you know, which is my job. Took up most of my day, so we'll just say shit happens, and it did. So this is the crappy part, because this thing's sort of not seized on, but it's, there we go. Okay, so this whole thing will get cleaned up tomorrow. Clean up in and around all this ring, all this extra grease and stuff. It's a lot of cleaning and a lot of towels. But that's the goo that gets built up right there. And it's got the sandy stuff mixed into it. So it looks like kind of like turds, but we'll have to, yeah, it's going to be a lot of cleaning, a lot of messing about. I don't have to worry so much about the inside, but the outside, yes. Now, there is also a gearbox in here, which I have no idea if there's fluid in it and if it needs checked. It's not wet looking, so I guess it hasn't leaked anything out, so I presume we're still good. But I don't see any area anywhere here for a dump out and refill, so it's maybe just packed with grease. I don't know. I'm not too sure on that, but yeah, so there we go. What a mess. And I got lots of cleaning up to do on that tomorrow. Holy. Oh, I almost forgot. We got to put on one of these springs under the seat here. So these are a lot easier to get in and out when you have the whole spring. That one I had that was in half. Holy man, it was a nightmare. So there is a little bit of a method to getting these, and I just can't exactly remember it now, but it does fit, because obviously I've got this one in. I just don't really remember the method other than just a bit of brute force. But they never really came out. There was a way I did it and I just can't remember now. There, start threading her in like that. Oh, not that far. I went a bit too far. Oh no. I didn't get the other side started. Okay, start again here. See, there's a loose end there, right? So if you get that pushed under first, and then... Oh no, it came out again. Darn it. Okay, maybe my method isn't gonna work here. There. That's it. That's it. That just sort of sits there and they kind of move around, and then you have a seat cushion, a little bit more cushiony than just those hard rubber puck things. So the other one's still, I think, still good, so I'm gonna just leave it until it wears off and then, or breaks, whatever, and then we'll switch them. As long as they're both, it's hard to sort of see, but yeah, they're both sort of coming in contact there about the same time. So there we go. All right, we are fixed on our seat. Anyways, just sitting at the car bath here, car wash place. I want to give my truck a wash. I just can't handle that, having that much crap on it, even though it's all up underneath it too. It's all up into the panels. What can you do, eh? It frickin' goes everywhere. Oh man, I hate salt. That's one thing I hate about this country, is how much salt they throw down on the roads. Like, it's ridiculous. But anyways, instead of actually plowing snow, they just throw a bunch of salt down. It's like, really? Okay. But anyways, so I'm gonna do that and then head her home. But I guess that's about it for today. So thanks a bazillion again for watching, and tomorrow we'll do some more cleaning up on that stuff and get her back together. So we'll catch you then. Have a good night. Well, we got most of her off. I got a little bit of residual stuff from coming from underneath the mirror things here and stuff, but frickin' salt, eh? No wonder, like, down in Mexico they're still driving stuff from like the 50s and stuff and 60s, because it doesn't rot out, you know. They don't even rust probably down there. But anyways, 10 years max on our vehicles here, and then you got to trade them and get rid of them because they're falling apart. But anyways, have a good day. Thanks for watching. We will catch you later.